We came all the way out to the Arizona desert to visit the real Biosphere 2 and review Biodome, a movie about two complete idiots who get trapped inside a giant environmental experiment and nearly destroy it from the inside. But the longer we spent out here, the more we realized this trip might have been a mistake, because just like the movie, we ended up as the two idiots who got stuck here. I'm here with Justin at Biosphere 2 to review Biodome, and the first thing you realize is that the actual place already looks like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, the real location feels isolated and strange enough on its own. It doesn't really need any help. I grew up in Tucson in the 90s, here where the Biodome is. So yeah, I think we have some unique perspectives. Let's go into the Biodome.
Let's make something clear. They did not actually film the movie here, did they?
No, they filmed some outdoor shots, but it's kind of funny. Most of it was filmed in LA.
Yeah, that's the way it usually goes. But you know, the thing is, if you would have told me that they filmed it here, I would have believed you, because it looks just like it. I mean, I feel like we're in the movie right now.
Yeah, it's a really strange place, and it feels like you're on the set of a sci-fi movie.
So I kind of knew about the movie. You know, I remember Pauly Shore. I remember, what was that one? In the Army. But like, I don't think I ever saw Biodome till now. And I can see why, but I didn't really know like what this place was. So can you give like a little bit of backstory to this?
Yeah, so Biosphere 2 was a huge sealed science experiment built in Arizona in the desert. I don't know, from like the late 80s to the early 90s. The idea was basically, can you build a fake Earth and keep people alive inside of it? So it's basically like a giant space colony on Earth.
So I was wondering, why is it called Biosphere 2?
Well, you're currently standing on Biosphere 1, which is the actual Earth. So this is kind of a mimic of that, of Biosphere 2.
But how did this all come together? Like, how did they build all this?
It was funded by a billionaire, built by scientists, and they wanted this to be like this giant, bold vision of the future. But once they actually locked the people inside, things started going wrong fast. The carbon dioxide got mixed up, people got injured, tensions went high. It became more famous for falling apart than for actually working. Eventually, it ended up being run by the University of Arizona.
I mean, this whole place is like in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the whole town looks like the Wild West.
Yeah, they still do science experiments and stuff here, but now people can actually go inside. It's not locking it around, so the whole university does experiments here. I thought it's funny they even have a gift shop with like cricket candy. There was even a Dr. Pepper gang we just saw.
Yeah, like what's up with all those people walking around with Dr. Pepper shirts?
What's with all the Dr. Pepper?
It's a family joke.
Family joke?
Brother.
Oh.
He thought it was hilarious.
Oh, cool.
Because two people wore it and then the whole family got it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Why not? Right?
Oh, nice. Huh.
Dr. Pepper gang.
That's cool. So basically, Hollywood saw this whole weird science experiment and basically said, like, hey, what if Pauly Shore fell into it? Is that basically how it went?
Yeah, pretty much. The craze was still all in the news at the time. This was right in the middle of the whole Weasel era run, from Encino Man, Son-in-Law, MGM, and MPCA basically turned a real headline-friendly science experiment into a broad slapstick kind of setup for Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin. They're just like chaotic guys that get dropped into the whole environmental thing. Produced by Brad Cravoy, Steven Stabler, Bradley Jenkel. I don't know these names too much, but all three of them worked on Dumb and Dumber, which kind of makes sense why they would give them money to make this movie.
It's funny to say like that Dumb and Dumber is a top tier 90s comedy.
Oh, it super is.
Yeah, because then you look at this, I'm like, okay, I see what they're trying to do with this. I mean, Beavis and Butthead look intelligent compared to these guys.
Yeah, it's more of a stoner comedy, of course, which was the style of the time.
So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time.
But yeah, 3 Arts was the production company, and they made a lot of movies in the same like comedy ecosystem, stuff like Beverly Hills Ninja and Loaded Weapon 1, which I consider the best parody movie of all time.
Oh, I gotta see that.
Oh, Emilio Estevez, Samuel Jackson, Whoopi Goldberg, Tim Curry. And apparently the same guys from 3 Arts, they also did Chain Reaction, Devil's Advocate, and The Matrix. So they went from like comedies to like serious movies, which is kind of interesting. And this movie came out in 1996. I was 12 years old, living in Tucson, Arizona at the time. So this movie always felt oddly personal. You know, it was big with the kids at school, especially when Pauly Shore's like, free mahi mahi. Like all the kids were doing that.
So have you been here before then?
No, even as a kid, I know people would take field trips and stuff up there, and it's like an hour or so north of Tucson in the middle of the desert. So there's no reason to be out here unless you want to die and get eaten by a wild animal.
Speaking of how remote it is, I hope we're able to get a lift again when we get out of here.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about the Uber, but that'll be a later problem for later us. But yeah, let's talk about the movie now. It takes the whole giant science project thing, turns it into the dumbest possible premise. Two complete idiots mistake it for a mall and accidentally get sealed inside of it for a year, from Earth Day to Earth Day.
It definitely kept my mind active. As I'd watch it, I'd keep recognizing people, or thinking I recognized people. I would sometimes see somebody who was not who I thought, but it was kind of an interesting sort of game of like guess the face.
Yeah, this movie is all about that. You know, you even brought up that Bud and Doyle are kind of like Beavis and Butthead, just not as good. Mm-hmm. It has this proto-bromance movie where they're playing off each other so much, which was a real big thing, you know, in the super bad 2000s era. So this movie kind of came in early with that kind of a thing.
It has what I would say is the most 90s character ever, which is the Stephen Baldwin one. Was he Bud or Doyle?
He's Doyle.
I don't know what it is, but he just has this face that's always like, he looks glazed over, and that hairstyle. Like, I know that I've had many classmates who had that type of hairstyle. Everything about it, he is just so 90s.
Yeah, and then paired with him is of course Pauly Shore. You know, so they're the heroes. The bad guy, you have William Atherton as Dr. Faulkner. He was Peck in Ghostbusters.
Like, I guess in Ghostbusters, he's sort of trying to shut them down.
Yeah, he's working for the EPA.
Yeah, so I guess either way, he's working for like environmental safety or something, but in a very different kind of way.
Next up, you have a lot of the other scientists. One is Kylie Minogue. She was Cammy in Street Fighter. Joey Lauren Adams. She was in Chasing Amy. I noticed her right away.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's the Chasing Amy girl. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought she was doing a voice in Chasing Amy. Is that actually her real voice?
Yeah, she just has that like that hearty voice.
Just sounds kind of like the 1930s or something, basically.
Yeah. But some other people I recognize. Rose McGowan is in this.
Yeah, you forget how many movies Rose McGowan was in. Now, there's a guy I wanted to talk about real quick, because he's got the white hair. He's a very distinct look, and I didn't know who this guy was. I did look him up. He's Henry Gibson. He was the Nazi in Blues Brothers, and he was also in The Burbs. When I first saw him, I was like trying to figure out, where have I seen this guy? It's such a distinct face, and surprisingly, I might be thinking of Gremlins 2. He's in a very brief scene in that movie. He's basically like the employee who is out having a smoke, and then he gets caught on the security camera and gets fired.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I love Gremlins too.
Yeah.
Phil Lamar happens to be walking with the billionaires at the end with Henry Gibson, which is fun. And yeah, I think it's the first movie that ever had Tenacious D in it.
Was it really?
Yeah, and it was like really, really early Jack Black, but Jack Black is playing Jack Black.
Yeah, I know we're going to mention the music. I was definitely going to bring up Tenacious D, because when I saw them, I was like, oh yeah, Tenacious D. But they're only in it for like a brief moment.
Yeah, so now that we talked about the cast, let's go into the movie a little bit. I think the funniest structural thing in the movie is that everything revolves around maintaining perfect homeostasis, and these guys just destroy it almost immediately just by entering the building.
Yeah, it's like the whole engine of the movie is basically, what is the worst possible thing that these two idiots could do in a sealed scientific ecosystem? And may I say, like, when you watch this movie, it's not like a movie where you're really going to like follow the plot, because there's not much of a plot to it. It's just, I mean, it has a premise, but not like a plot, if that makes any sense.
I mean, it takes you from point A to point B, and things happen, and characters have motivations. There is a story arc, but it is wrapped up. Like, you forget about it pretty quick because of all the dumb jokes and all the weird set pieces, and, you know, you're too busy playing Who's That Actor than enjoying the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the opening credits in this movie is, again, 90s as hell. It is so 90s. But there was one track in particular that when I heard Boom Shakalaka, I was like, wait a minute. because that was the opening credits in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, because the same people made Dumb and Dumber, so they used it again.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, wait a minute, like what's the chance of that song being in 2 90s movies? But I was like, because I associate that song with the opening of Dumb and Dumber so much that when I heard it here, it was like, you might as well have been hearing the Star Wars theme, because I'm like, come on, that belongs to Dumb and Dumber.
And yeah, but speaking of which, the audio mix is so low for the vocals in this compared to the music.
Yeah, and Faith No More, it opens up with like just the bass and the drums, and that bass really thumps when you hear it.
You know, and that gets paired to all the gross stuff in this movie. Like Stephen Baldwin is just chewing off his own toenails. They're constantly peeing on stuff. Like it's really weird. You know, it always ties back to them being assholes or doing the wrong thing and then eventually having hearts of gold. The movie really peaks when Bud and Doyle stop being passive idiots and actively try and destroy the place by throwing a giant party and wrecking the entire dome.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically where the movie cashes in its premise. Like, man takes a delicate system and runs it through ego, stupidity, and bad decisions. Like, kind of reading into it a lot, but like, you do gotta love a party scene. I mean, any movie that has like this big party, because like you never see a party like that in real life. There's just something about movie party scenes that I really enjoy.
Yeah, and this one has like a pig roast, and they're bringing in Bud and Doyle like they're like Polynesian kings on like, you know, all these muscly guys are bringing them out on like a cart. And then the movie suddenly decides Bud and Doyle have to save the biodome and then become pretty much environmental heroes on their own.
Which is ridiculous, but it also gives the movie a shape. I mean, otherwise it would just be 90 minutes of disconnected, dumbass behavior.
Yeah, because of the party, homeostasis goes from like 100% or whatever, which it has to be the whole time, to 1%. And if they stay in there for 2 weeks, they will now die. They basically lock themselves into it when Doyle swallows the key to the outside, because they find the key happened to be stuck in one of the windows. They take that away, they relock the place, and now they're stuck into the dying biodome and have to use the scientists' help and their own wits, I guess, to save the day.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's taking the cigarettes and making like a filter out of it or something.
Yeah.
So I guess at this point they're trying to patch up their mess, but in like the most ridiculous ways.
And this is where the safety dance comes up that we brought up earlier, where they're dancing around and out of nowhere a little person is dancing with them, which is a riff on the music video. And there's a whole seasonal montage, and this is where like it jumps months and months and months. They go from Halloween to Christmas to New Year's. They're finally growing the hemp they wanted to grow. You know, and then the scientist girls now want to bang the guys, which they decline, which is one of the nicer things they did in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of this movie, so much random stuff happens that it's hard to even retain it all. So yeah, it pretty much just morphs into a full-fledged cartoon.
Yeah, you know, Faulkner pretty much freaks out when the place gets destroyed and just goes on a mission to destroy the biodome with coconut bombs. So that's interesting. Yeah, and then the movie kind of ends. He throws some bombs, it blows up a little bit at the door, but they get out okay. Homeostasis is restored. And yeah, the credits roll over him running in the desert, which I like. So that's Biodome.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that this movie, you watch it for a certain type of reason. Like if you want to see like a time capsule of the 90s and just something really bizarre and random, check it out. But in general, I would not recommend it as a movie. It is borderline unwatchable, but at the same time, if you look at it from a certain perspective, it's very fascinating that it's just so out there. So yeah, it's just a very strange type of movie.
Yeah, and considering, you know, the real Biosphere 2 that we are in, you know, was a serious 90s experiment, you know, it's cool, I guess, that they turned Biodome into a movie, like the same idea, but two idiots ruining it and then making it good again, you know, kind of like destroying the planet and bringing it back to homeostasis, as it were.
Yeah, and, you know, even though I wouldn't recommend the movie to the, you know, an ordinary person, but I do recommend Biosphere 2 because it is awesome in here.
Yeah, if you're in Arizona, definitely come to the Biosphere 2. I've actually heard Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin talk about Biodome 2. Like what would you do with Biodome 2?
Biodome 2?
Like considering they
would just be...
At the end of the movie, them and the girls drive away, and instead of like getting stuck in like, you know, another science experiment, they turn into like a nuclear waste facility or like there's all this smog and pollution and stuff. So
Yeah, so it wouldn't be about the biodome. It would be something else, actually. So.
yeah, it'd be weird if they got stuck into the biodome, unless it's a movie about making a movie at the biodome or something. Like
you'd have to like title it something reminiscent of biodome, but not like because it's almost, I almost feel like it's Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, because he's not home alone in that movie, but you have to connect it with the first movie, you know.
Right. I recommend not making Biodome 2.
All right, well, we're gonna get on our way. We're gonna go get the lift now.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna find either. I think it's kind of dicey.
Oh, they dropped us off here. They better come back to pick us up.
Got some bad news.
Yeah, we got trapped at the Biosphere.
Just like in the movie, we are stuck here at the Biodome.
Yes, and I'll tell you how it happened. Do not ever come here with a Lyft or an Uber. You must come with your own car or have a ride planned, because if you don't, you will not get picked up. We tried Lyft, we tried Uber, we tried taxi services, and then we asked the kind girl at the front desk to help us, and she gave us some numbers that she had of like local people, I guess. I don't know what this was about, and Justin started trying to call these numbers,
and they're all really weird, and we're saying really weird, like just like random people. It was bad. But
so the one guy yelled at you like, "Give me money right now," or something.
It was weird, yeah.
And then the other guy I saw was like sending a voice message back, and I saw the message coming in, and it said, "I don't know who you are, but if you're trying to sell me something, stop."
I have no idea who you are or what your business might be, but if you're trying to sell me something, don't bother to call back.
Feels like being stuck at the airport.
Yeah, a little bit, but I'd rather do this than the hassle of renting a car and all the other BS, but this is fine.
Yeah.
And it's a good story.
Yes. And after actually coming out here, that's what makes the movie interesting. Not because it's secretly great, but because it feels like the perfect dumb time capsule of that same weird 90s optimism that made the real place possible. So, we did manage to get a ride home. Thanks, Marc. Leave a comment, let us know what you think the next movie location or, on-site kind of video should be.